Hey guys, Indy with Ultimate Tool Reviews here. One thing that I've heard online, actually had a few people message me on this, is how do you wall mount your Makita battery chargers? Well, I'll answer that question here. Some of the battery chargers they make are pretty easy to wall mount. So as you can see behind me, I've got two of the 12 volt CXT chargers over here already on the wall. I also have a spot where I just took down the XGT charger. Now, the 12 volt chargers and the 40 volt chargers are fantastic. They've just got some holes here for wall mounting. You just put two screws in with a template, and there you go. Super easy to mount those. Same goes for the single 18 volt LXT chargers. They come with just a super easy way to mount them. No big deal there. But what if you have dual chargers? Well, Makita doesn't really want you to mount those on the wall too easily, but I did find a way to do it. So if you look back over to my left here, I've got two on the wall, and I actually have this one on the wall too. I just took it down temporarily to show you how I did it. But anyways, what I did was I've got them basically stacked here really nicely. And what I did for the bottom one was a little bit different because the two I have above it are only using a really simple method to mount these up. But let's flip this charger over and I'll show you what's going on back behind here. So Makita uses basically 6 screws to hold this back panel on, each of the corners and right here in the middle. They've also got these bumpers on each of the corners, so when you have it flat, it stays nice and secure, won't move around for you. What I did for the bottom one here was I took off all 4 of these screws and I took off all these bumpers. And then I took just a regular scrap piece of wood and I was able to screw that in to the bottom there. And what that enables you to do is then you can have a little bit of a hangout there of a piece of the wood, and you can then screw these directly on to the wall. Now, the big problem I found was it's hard to find a screw that'll work with these. But what I did end up finding was that when you pull these screws out that are in this charger, they actually have a pretty aggressive thread pattern. And it's almost identical to a drywall screw, like a coarse thread drywall screw. So what I did was I found a drywall screw that was just a bit longer than these screws. And I just cut a hole in a piece of scrap wood and was able to get these into the back of there, and they hold in pretty solid. So this is my top one. And just to kind of show you how this works, I am just going to basically show you what to do here. So for this one, I'm going to pull out the top 2 screws because I don't need to have a bottom piece here. This bottom piece is actually going to rest against the top piece and cover it pretty nicely when I put this top one on there. So I just pulled out the 2 top screws here. Just cut a piece of wood, scrap wood to fit. I don't really care what looks too much. I just need something to just work there for me. And I'm just going to grab a impact here, have it set to kind of a lower setting. I don't want to jam this in there too far or damage anything. And let's see here. There we go. And I'll get that other side in as well. And there we go. That's going to be on there now. And I've actually got a TV above me here that I use for just hanging out in the garage right up there. So this one I actually had to cut this piece off of this charger to enable it to get behind there. And basically what I've got now is I've got a way to mount this charger just on this one side here. And the bottom piece will then just fit. It'll just kind of sit over this top bracket for the other one here and just kind of cover it nicely. And that's about it, guys. It's pretty easy to do once you kind of figure out how to do it for these dual chargers, and they stay in pretty well. I'm running 3 dual chargers, especially when I mow my lawn or I come back from a job. Having 3 dual chargers, I can throw my batteries on there quick and not have to worry about them. They'll be charged in about 45 minutes or so. Not a big deal there. But other than that, guys, let me know in the comments if you got any questions, or if you want to show you how to mount any other of these chargers. They're not really too difficult to do. And of course, I can always cut the wood nicer, make it look a bit nicer, but just grab some scrap wood and there we go. Pretty cheap, pretty easy to do. So take care, guys, and let me know if you got any questions in the comments.